to Soccer Chat. My name is Kenneth Amabe, and this is the maiden edition of the show. And I would like you to subscribe to my channel, share the video, and comment under the video. Okay, so we move straight into it. Today we talk strictly Black Stars and Portugal. I want to dwell on this match that happened yesterday, and there were a few things that happened that made this match a thriller, as people are saying on social media. I think the Black Stars played well, even though we lost. I think we lost unfairly, but I think the Black Stars played well for our fourth tournament, World Cup. We were there in 2006, we were there in 2010, 2014, and we missed out in Russia. But again, we are in Qatar, and I think we played well. We played extremely well. I want to say kudos to the whole team, the coach, Otuado, and the other technical team. And to begin our discussion, I want to start with the first 11. The first 11 of the two teams that played yesterday. Today I'm going to center on the Portugal-Ghana match, so I'm going to dwell on the first 11. The 11 players that began for both teams. And we had Atisigi in pole, we had Alidu Seidu on the right, Baba Rahman on the left, Salisu Jeku and Amate in the middle. When you come to the middle of the pack, we had Pate playing on the right side, Salis in the middle, Kudus on the left of midfield. Then the two attacking forwards, that is Inaki Williams and Dede Rami Morgan Ayu. So that is for the Ghana team. Moving to Portugal, there was Costa in pole, Guerrera on the left, Cancelo on the right, Diaz and Pereira playing the 4 and 5, Neves playing just before the defenders. We had Otavio, Bernardo Silva in the midfield for the Portuguese national team. João Felix on the left, Cristiano Ronaldo in the middle, then Bernardo Bruno Fernandes played on the right. So these are the starting 11, and to break it down in the first half, that's where I want us to begin from. In the first half, Ghana was solid. Ghana was compact. We hardly put a foot wrong. We played as a team. The boys at the back did wonderful. Alidu Seidu played a fantastic game. His touches, his runs from the back, even though you could see that when he got to the half of the Portuguese, he didn't have a lot of ideas. His defending and running on the flanks was superb. The three centre backs, that is Amate, Jeku, and Salisu, were marvelous. They kept the back compact. They made sure that nobody, not Cristiano Ronaldo, not Bernardo Silva, not Bruno Fernandes, could penetrate our backline. Baba Rahman, surprisingly, I didn't think, I was one of the people who thought Baba Rahman could not really do well or perform, because he's old, and we all saw what Gideon Mensah did against Nigeria. So I thought playing Gideon Mensah would have been better. But Baba Rahman, even though he made a mistake that led to the second goal, Baba Rahman did very well. He kept his composure. He was experienced. He knew when to go into tackles. He knew when to slide balls. He wasn't making rash tackles. That is one thing I realized about Baba Rahman. He wasn't making rash tackles. He was taking his time and timing his tackles. And when he was able to get forward, the crosses were good. He tried to put in some true passes. Pate, he didn't really start well. Moving from Baba Rahman, I want to zoom in on Pate. I think Pate didn't have his best game yesterday. That's my view. I think he struggled a bit in the game. In the beginning, Kudus also struggled. Both of them struggled in the beginning. I was struggling to understand why they were struggling so much. But Samet was calm and cool. He was laying the passes, being compact at the back, and he was linking up play. Samet did wonderful. I think in the midfield defensively, Samet played better in the midfield. Kudus also started the game slowly. He was making mistakes here and there, misplacing passes, but he got into the game. As the game progressed, he got into the game. He was able to find his feet. He was able to give passes, play some shots, test the goalkeeper in post Costa. Because if you are playing against a team and you're not able to test the opponent's keeper, then I think you will not know the weaknesses of their defense. But I think Kudus did well to tackle that aspect. Defensively, he got his game up. Then going forward or attacking wise, he was very good. He was able to put in some shots, play some true pass, and eventually the build up to the Ghana equalizer. Kudus played a very pivotal role in Ghana getting that equalizer. So yeah, with the two attackers, that is Inaki Williams and Ayu, I think there's something wrong with Inaki Williams. Seriously, I'm not really seeing, or he's not really hitting the levels that Ghanaians thought he would hit. One, I think he's very soft. I think he goes down too easily. And yesterday he had support. I've always been calling for support for Inaki Williams because I think that Inaki Williams, the games he's played for Ghana so far, he's been left, alone in the front, and he's not effective that way. But yesterday, Dede Ayu was solidly behind him. Dede was my man of the match. Dede went back to defend, moved forward into attack, even though we all thought age would catch up with him. We all thought he would be tired early. But Dede played his heart out. Maximum respect to Dede Ayu. Yesterday, he showed that he's the captain that we all believe him to be. He's always been there. He's been the big match player for Ghana Black Stars. Anytime we need him, he shows up. Even at the AFCONs when all the players had a bad tournament, Dede Ayu had a very good tournament. Even though we didn't progress, he played well. He scored some good goals. And anytime he wears that Ghana jersey, he's willing to die on the field. And I think he really needs to be commended for that performance. And I think the first half, it was perfect. Otuado was spot on. We didn't put a foot wrong. We made sure we charged down the Portuguese. Ronaldo was out of his sorts. Nothing. Even when Kudus made that mistake, nothing was going through. When Kudus made that mistake and got a one-on-one with Atizigi, because of the pressure on the ball, he fumbled it. So I think in the first half, we were brilliant. Now the second half, that is where most of the drama happened. We came back from the break. We were playing a normal game, tackling hard. Kudus, Pate, they were doing their thing, trying to hold the play, trying to share passes, trying to, play out the game. I felt the Otuado came into this game to make sure he doesn't concede. And it worked. So when the Portuguese decided they've had enough, they were going to score. And I think that penalty that Ronaldo scored on the 65th minute, I think it wasn't a penalty. I think the referee handed them that penalty. And I've always been saying this since yesterday that the referee had a good game till that moment. He actually had a good game till that moment. Everything was going on fine for him. He was calling the right fouls. Then all of a sudden, he gives a dubious penalty that he blatantly refused to check the VAR, because some of these things or these incidents in the World Cup is what has prompted FIFA and world football people to initiate some of these things, the goal line technology, the VAR. So I'm amazed, I'm baffled that there will be an incident like this and the referee will not want to check the video assistant and get to the bottom of it. I think the penalty wasn't the penalty. When we woke up this morning, we've been hearing some schools of thoughts, but I still think, especially with the third goal from Leo Raphael, I think that was also an offside. But before you even get to that, on the penalty still, the referee gave a dubious penalty. Salisu did not, foul Ronaldo. He got the ball first, and it looked like he checked him a little bit. But clearly, if you watch the video, he got the ball first. I don't know why the referee decided not to check it, to be sure, because everybody was protesting. It got to a time that he was actually forcing the keeper at Atiziki to stand in the pool to receive, to take or to try and receive the penalty, for the penalty to be played. I don't understand. It was very bad, and it's sad for football. African teams always go through this kind of harsh treatment. I'll call it harsh treatment because I feel the VAR is there to check some of these things. So if there's a doubt that some players or some people on the pitch, maybe a coach or the players on the pitch, feel that they are being robbed, the decision is not fair. That is why the VAR was brought into play in the first place. So I don't know why the referee will not go and check, because in the NBA they have rules that coaches and captains of teams can actually challenge. They can challenge the play if there's a foul. They don't have too many chances, or they don't give them too many chances. I think 2 or 3 times in the game. I think 2 times in the game. The captain of the team and the coach can challenge the play. You don't waste it. If you waste it, it's gone. But you wait for a very delicate time like this, then you challenge the play. When they look at the video and you're right, the decision is given to you. But if you want to manipulate the system, that is why, or that is how you omit some of these practices. That's how you omit some of these practices, because I feel if FIFA wants to be fair, he will introduce some of these practices into the game to make sure fairness is achieved at the end of the day. I felt very sad yesterday, very, very sad, and I feel FIFA should sit down. The GFA should have a look at this thing and ask appropriate questions. We cannot just let it go like that. Every 4 years we'll come back to the same stage and go through this again. So yeah, much has been said about that penalty. I don't want to move on to the third goal. Yeah, I feel the third goal was an offside. I said earlier that some people have started saying that it wasn't an offside, and they are showing some images. Why were those images not shown yesterday in real time? Why did they have to wait 24 hours to come back to us with those images, with the Ghana player being ahead of the Portuguese attacker? Because real time, you could check that in the EPL, in the Serie A, in other leagues. You can check that, and in the EPL they've not used the EPL, use the VAR well. So we didn't expect some of these things to be happening in this tournament. This is the World Cup, and some of these things shouldn't happen. 2 goals. See, some people even talking about Inaki Williams' last chance, the chance he had to actually equalize the third goal, and he slipped. And people are also saying it's a foul. Inaki Williams, the keeper held his leg, but I'm thinking that Inaki Williams made a mistake. He goofed big time. You are down 3-2. You've been cheated like this, and you have a chance to restore parity. You have a chance to actually hit the opponent like this, and you move to the ball and you slip. I really felt sad yesterday. We couldn't get anything from that match, but I feel the boys are good. Not to dwell too much on the negativity. I want to now focus on positivity. I think this is the best couple of players Ghana has had in a long time. I think this is in from 2006, from Asamoah's time, the first World Cup in Germany, till to date. I think this group of players, these boys are the best. The quality in defense, the quality in midfield, the quality in attack. You see, maybe in those days we had some good players like Mike Lacy, like Sulali Muntaru, like Steven Appiah, like Lai Kingston, but with this team, in those times we could pick 1 or 2 players and say, hey, they are the kingpins. But with this team, almost everybody who comes. Yesterday, you could have started with different players. If Banye could have come on and play. You could have started with Sulemana Kamaldeen. You see, the boys are so good that anybody who comes, even Semeno in place of Williams, and I think we should look at starting Semeno also to see how it goes, because Williams is being he's not being too strong on the ball, and I'm finding it difficult to understand why. Yeah, so away from the negativity, this is a very good team, and I think if FIFA is going to be fair in this tournament, this team will go far, even to the semi-final. Yes, this team can get to the semi-final, but it depends on what officials are going to do, because if you are playing your best football and decisions are going against you, it's going to be very, very difficult, and yeah, so that is my take, in my view, on the matches, on the Ghana matches today. I feel FIFA should sit up, the referees should sit up, and let's see how it goes. I feel Ghana are going to do. Senegal just won their match. Senegal just won their match against Qatar. Brilliant performance. They scored 3-1. Iran also beat Wales by 2-0. So I want to give some predictions for the football investors, those who would want to, make some cash from this World Cup. So at 4 o'clock, Holland, Netherlands, they are coming against Ecuador. Like I said, I take Netherlands to win, straight win, and England against USA. I think England to do the job against USA. England win. Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you soon.